seen 2 out of the 5. Is that a B? Morning guys, so we are heading to the safari. It is like 4 a.m. It's so late in the morning. It was so late, but it's fine. We will see you guys in the safari. Yeah, come on. I had been counting down to this activity since I landed in Rwanda, and I could not wait. 3 a.m. I was up. Good morning. Hi guys. It is, what time is it? 5 a.m. Nigerian time right now. We are currently at Ruby's. We are waiting for other people to actually arrive, and then the bus is already here. I'm sure you saw when I turned it. So we'll be out in like a second. We're going to see the B5, and we're going other place. So yeah, I just hope I'll have a lovely time. This is my highlight, so better not for. But yeah guys, as usual, I'll do a breakdown of how much we spent later. For now, see you guys in the safari. Let's start from the beginning. Now, the tour company I went with was called True Rwanda, and I was so grateful to them because I had really wanted to go to the safari, but I had almost given up because all the ones I was seeing were from $400-500. I think the cheapest I saw was $350, including entrance fee, and they were all private trips, which I don't think I would have enjoyed so much. However, True Rwanda was offering a group trip, which also allowed us to meet new people while we actually went. The pricing was $150 for Africans. However, for Rwandans, it was cheaper, and then for those that were international, like from outside Africa, you'd spend, I think it was $200 that they had put it on, but it came with drinks, food, and everything else you needed. Anyway, let's talk about the journey, guys. Rwanda is so beautiful. Oh my god, the views, they had views for days. The initial first 2 hours before we got to the rest stop, we just used it to like admire the sunrise, admire the views. Then we finally got to the rest stop, which was a coffee shop, so we got some coffee and snacks. So we are currently at the rest stop, waiting for okay, so we're just sort of waiting for those of us that want to use the restroom, those that want to get like coffee and the rest. Yeah, so we are taking a break from that. So yeah, we're still on our way. We still have like an hour and 30 minutes to go. So guys, my people are taking pictures behind me because our bus is different. Yeah, so this is something I should mention. We didn't get to experience the safari vehicle because we were quite a lot, and True Rwanda got us a coaster bus instead. But the good thing about this is that we were able to take pictures in front of in front of safari vehicles because of the fact that that rest stop, everybody generally that is going out of town stops there. Then we started our journey again after I got my coffee, and which was a bad idea, guys, because I had drank Coke in the first 2 hours of this journey, and then I was drinking coffee in the next. About an hour later, and we're finally in front of Akagera Park, the entrance actually. So we stopped here to take some pictures, videos, etc., and then we started the journey again to go inside to the reception. Now, the reception itself is where they'll debrief you on how long your journey generally is going to be. And one thing about safari visits that people don't really tell you is that you're really just going to go and chase animals and hope you actually see these animals. So they inform you of these things and the do's and don'ts that you cannot do while you're going to go and find these animals. We had a tour guide with us who was going to talk to us about most things that we needed to know, and then we started our journey. That's why you with barbecue flavor. That's barbecue. That's not tasty. I was definitely grateful for the company. Our first sighting was the baboon, but you see, here's the thing, there's a lot of time before you see another animal, so it takes some time. So the company is great because while you are looking for animals, we can be gisting and laughing in the bus, even though it's not advisable to be too loud because you don't want to scare off the animals. Anyway, we saw some deers, we saw some giraffes, we saw a lot of animals, but guys, things went south after I had seen the elephant, and I'll explain why. Remember, I had drank Coke and I had drank coffee. I needed to pee, and as at here, I did not know there was going to be a rest stop. I was just thinking that we're going to take another 4 hours before we actually arrived, and at that point my bladder was crying. Hey, hi guys, so right now I don't know where we are. We're actually at the camps. Yeah, people actually stay over for this. So we've been on the road for like 4.5 hours and only seen 2 out of the 5. Is that a B?
But how will you do content?
I beg.
That's why you have it.
Where was I? Okay, sorry, really interrupted. Okay, so we still have a couple of hours. We are hoping to see what's left to be seen. the
Out of the
lion, the
rhino.
The leopard.
Leopard we couldn't see,
and
ran
the
away.
rhino. So
There are so many others. It's only one.
these are the ones we're looking for.
And the rhino.
So like as usual, guys,
doubt if the
just
leopard
come
will
with me.
come.
Honestly, I'm slightly tired. I don't want to sleep when I'm done with this, but we'll see. Anyway, bye guys. Turns out there was a camp halfway through the journey, so I was able to relieve myself. And luckily for me, we went to True Rwanda, so they gave us food, and so we ate. And then after we're done, we started our journey again, looking for the remaining of the big five and then the other animals that were available. We were lucky because we almost saw a cheetah, but we didn't get to see it because unfortunately we were not fast enough. We only saw what the cheetah had killed, the baboon it had killed, but we were able to see like zebra and antelope. We did see the rhino, we did, and then we also saw the hippo before, but we couldn't. I'm sorry I couldn't show you guys because they were so far away. I could see them with my eyes, but I couldn't get them on camera. Then we saw more giraffes. And then we reached a point where you were allowed to actually come down in the safari. It's called the picnic point, where you could come down in the safari and take pictures and just be one with nature, if you know what I mean. Then after that, we gave up on looking for these animals. It was already past 4 at this time, so it was time to go back. So we started going back, and guys, this place actually reminds me of a village in Nigeria, like a proper village in Nigeria. The journey back was as long as the journey to guys. It was already 8 o'clock and we're still on the road. Remember, we left the park around 4. We finally got back to Kigali around 9, and then I went back to bed straight. I crashed once I got to my room. Good morning. It is I have lost count, but today is 27, 28 actually. Today is a Sunday. We have one activity lined up, which is yoga in the morning, and then breakfast. We actually haven't had breakfast. We'll stop for breakfast. Then if we find something to do in the night, sure. If not, I actually have nothing planned for today. So today is like vibes, and inshallah, anything that happens. So yeah, guys, as usual, I will take you guys on this journey with me. Bye guys, I'm going for yoga right now. After sitting in that bus for over 12 hours the day before, my body definitely needed some stretching. So when I saw that Live Rwanda offered yoga the next day, I said, yep, we're going to do it. It was just 10,000 Rwandan franc, and it wasn't far from where we stayed actually. It was literally on the opposite street. So all we just needed to do was cross into the opposite street, and we were literally there. So we started it off.
It's impossible to live out without a hammock. In nature, it's impossible.
Now for Sunday, they were doing Jivamuktu yoga. I have done yoga before a lot of times, but I had never really heard of Jivamuktu yoga. Luckily, my instructor explained what it was, and he was really, really good with it actually. He explained each of the poses you were doing, and at the end of it all, I felt extremely relaxed, guys. My muscles that were sore, really, that's why I love yoga. It's so helpful. After which, we went to Johnson Baker for breakfast, and this place was quite the adventure. Feel after yoga?
I'm okay.
Nah, as you should.
Feel calm, relaxed.
As you should. Time for breakfast, guys. I definitely did not like my experience in this restaurant, mainly because I felt like they were wasting time on purpose, or maybe because of the day it was, maybe because it was Sunday or something. I don't know. By the time my drinks were cold and finished, it was time for me to go. I stood up to walk away, but then the food now came. I just told them to pack it for me and let me be going to my house. I was done. I was tired. I went back to my room. Unfortunately, the coffee was strong, so all I could do was watch Chinese movies till dinner, till evening, and then we went back to Phil's restaurant, my favorite restaurant in Rwanda, to get some dinner. I just got chicken wings and fries and wrapped it up for the night till the next day. Hi guys, so it is God knows what, but today is Monday and we're heading out to Fazenda's Sengha. I hope I pronounced that correctly. We plan to do a lot of activities. I heard they have ziplining, they have horse riding, they have archery and a bunch of other activities. So we're going to go there to go do a couple of activities today. When we come back, we're supposed to get dinner actually, and then we want to have our henna done. So we'll see whether or not we're able to do that today. If not, we'll do that on another day. Anyway guys, as usual, come with me, and yeah, the adventure continues. Fazenda was definitely my second highlight in Rwanda. Now, I was looking forward to their ziplining like crazy. When my friends arrived, we decided to do the group package, which cost 30,000 Rwandan franc per person and included archery, ziplining, and horse riding. But then we decided to also add quad bike riding, which was an extra 15,000 Rwandan francs. So in total, 45,000 per person. And we decided to do that for trip to Fazenda. Now, after payment, we went in, and the first thing was horse riding, and I got the sweetest horse. Sonia Door, that was my horse. Horse riding itself was about 15 minutes per person. Actually, I don't even think we did up to 15 minutes, to be fair, because literally it's just going round in circles with the horse. So you would, except you're a professional rider, you might get bored or tired riding round and around and around. So we just use that time to take as many pictures as possible. They have the donkeys actually for kids, to be fair. But it was kind of cool. I like the fact that we had a guide with us. Now, the guide can double up as a photographer. These guys seem to be trained in taking great pictures for you while you are actually riding the horse. So it was kind of nice, because some of the videos and pictures I got of myself was simply because my guide kept asking me for my phone to take pictures and videos of me. You can decide to tip your guide if you are nice. If not, nobody's going to hold you if you're not. It's not. Now, the day I went was actually the 29th, which was a Monday, to be fair. So this place was sort of empty, so it did allow us to have enough time with our horses. Nobody was rushing us to do anything. Not just the horses, actually. I think every single activity, people were not rushing us to do anything. And I have to say, they have other activities, by the way. They have painting. They also have something for kids. It's a trampoline. You can also get the kids to ride the donkeys or asses, I don't know, depending on that. This place has literally so many other activities, and I feel like a lot of pictures that you see from Kigali, like the adventure pictures, come from here. And this place is located on Mount Kigali, so it's a tourist thing. Anyway, the next one was the ziplining, my highlight. Now, the ziplining itself has two different courses. There's a higher one and the lower one. You ride the lower one twice, and then you ride the higher one twice. However, you need to use the lower one to get to the higher one. So in total, you ride the lower one 4 times and then the higher one twice. It was an adventure. I love the higher one, to be fair, because it was longer. There was just so much more. It was just longer, so I preferred that. I know they said that there's like a longer one in Rwanda, but I wasn't going to go to that one, so I was going to enjoy this one to the fullest, and I definitely did. I was able to hold my phone and take my videos and pictures of myself while I was it, but I won't advise it if you are someone that's actually afraid of heights. By the way, I'm slightly afraid of heights, but nothing stops me from finding a new height adventure. Anyway, we left there and went to the next activity, which was the archery. Now, if you've ever followed any of my Instagram, TikTok, or even YouTube, you know I've done archery before in Lagos State, so it's not like I'm not used to it. I already have the form in mind. I have like a bit of knowledge of it, so this was more like a refresher for me, which was why my arrows never missed the board, because I am so used to taking shots with arrows now. In total, you have, I think, 2 or 3 sessions, and each session has like 5 arrows that you can actually shoot. So yes, use your arrows wisely. Now, final one was the quad bike riding. I was so excited for this one too, because I've never ridden a quad bike before. The good thing about this one was we had a guide with us, like someone that sat down behind you, so you really were not doing so much riding. Really, you have a guide for every single activity you do, and there's someone that generally followed us all throughout our activity. You can decide to tip them if you want, but it's not really a compulsory thing. Hi ladies, how you guys feeling?
Great.
Hi, see our view. Where we are.
Yeah, I think we're enjoying it.
We wrapped it up and decided to go to the car-free zone because we wanted to take pictures by the Kigali sign, and then we also wanted to eat Rwandan dish. However, when we got here, we found that there was another car-free zone and we were in the wrong one. This one doesn't really have a lot of restaurants to actually eat from. But so we decided to stroll a little bit, and we reached this market, this like really big market. It reminded me so much of like Lagos Island market. And then there was a place where we could actually get some food, even though the food was more like, it wasn't Rwandan dish, but I did like the service here. The service here was really, really good. They kept coming to come and tell us how long our food was going to take. I think this was my only rivals to Phil's restaurants while I was in Rwanda, because I really liked their service. Anyway, after this, we're supposed to go back to the Kigali side and take pictures, but everybody forgot. So we had already ordered our cabs and headed back to our rooms by the time you remember. Anyway, that was how we called it a day, guys. Unfortunately, there's going to be a part 3 with the final set of activities I did in Rwanda. So till then, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. See you guys.